and every time you try to resist, they put you in jail. For my children. You've been silenced for very long, and every time you try to resist, they put you in jail. For my children. They've controlled your mind for so long to the point where you let them decide what your kids should learn, what gender they will be. And now you've let them to come for the whole nation, destroying what Britain once stood up for. They use this media machine not to report the facts to you, but to tell you what to think and what you should do.
Always be careful.
They're hiding the facts behind the noise, and they're recruiting pedophiles to tell you how to behave. And these politicians you meant to protect you, they're out there smashing your head on the ground. This road we've been on has been very dark for a very long time, and it's time to shine a light on the truth and advocate for justice. We the people make the nation, and if we don't stand up and advocate for justice, then we certainly won't make this nation great again. So we have to create a place for that, a place that can contribute to a more informed society. Is Next Frontier Media.
You are listening to The Baraka Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, patriots, truth seekers, digital warriors, welcome back to the show. As you already know, this is not a regular broadcast. This is The Baraka Show. Man, we got a lot of stories to cover today. A lot of freaking stories to cover. A lot of people are getting caught. A lot of people are getting confronted. A lot of people are asking to be married. And I think it's important we talk about that. I think it's important we exposed these people. Some of them call themselves journalists, and they're getting exposed. Some of them call each other moms, dad, fathers, and lords, princes, duchess, and all these cool names that they've been given. Not because they somehow did something good to humanity, not because they contribute great to the world. It's because they somehow just exist and they gained these fancy titles. And by the way, man, I think this is like the closest we're getting to seeing a total change in the world. Meaning, powerful people are getting confronted. Powerful people are getting exposed. And the people who help these powerful people consolidate power, like journalists, are also getting confronted too. And I think it's important that we sit here and we talk about it. Folks, I don't know what's going on with this live stream. We're going back and forth. Live stream went down and we're back on again. Hopefully this time won't go down. But hey, who knows? They might pull something up. They might pull another thing on. But folks, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We are live and direct. Can you guys see me? Is the government stopping people seeing your live? I'm not sure what the government is doing, but surely I know the YouTube is making it hard for people to see my live. This is the second time going live. I hope this one stick. I really do. But folks, grab your tea. Grab your tea, grab your drink, because what we're gonna show today, I'm quite happy. I'm actually so happy. I have to say, I'm so happy that these people who we looked up to, who we addressed with some sort of respect, we said, sir, we said, miss, and we did all the lovely stuff, and we didn't call them by their name. We called them princes, we called them princesses, we called them duchess, fancy titles they were given. That's right. And today, finally, these guys have been exposed. And they're being forced to go hiding. And I love to see this. I love to see these powerful people being stripped in their underwears and exposed. Given the things that they've done to all these children, all these victims, all these survivors, given the things that they've done, given the things that they've contributed, the evil that they've contributed to this world. I love when I see these guys being confronted. It's beautiful to see. It is. And we're going to go through everything, all right? We're going to go through everything. So, viewer discretion advised. First one. All right, here's another fucking error. Oh, God. Rumble just went down again. What's going on, folks? I don't know what's happening, but Rumble is down. Is YouTube gonna follow soon? Oh god, I don't know. This happened yesterday. I thought we fixed it. Well, we went live just then. It happened again. Now we just gone live. Rumble is down. All right, fuck Rumble, man. All right, fuck Rumble. Okay, we're gonna carry on with YouTube. I hope YouTube sticks. If YouTube mess up, fuck YouTube as well. We're gonna go and kick. All right. Since everybody's trying to censor me, I don't know what's going on. Even my laptop or the just shutting down my system. The broadcast is just not working. It's quite annoying sometimes. We do a lot of work. We practice. We do a lot of research to do this stuff, but sometimes it's just very. I don't know. It's not good. All right, but anyways, we're gonna carry on. We're always gonna carry on anyway, regardless of all the censorship that they throw at us. We're gonna carry on. Shout out to whoever Secret Service is watching us right now. Anyways, enjoy the broadcast. Now, this is what we're gonna be covering today. We're gonna be covering. Here's the headline. Perfect. Here's the headline, folks. This is what we're going to be covering today. We're going to be covering Tommy Robinson confronting a journalist, a huge journalist. It's important we talk about that because, of course, these guys, they work in protecting the pedophiles. They work in protecting the loved ones, the ones who sponsor their channel. And I think it's good when they get confronted. I think it's good. I think we should celebrate. When somebody put a microphone in their face and they have nothing to say but run away. Yes, I love it. It's beautiful. So we're going to cover that. We're also going to cover about Jeffrey Epstein had a secret child. Emails from Sarah Ferguson, or maybe should I say Fergie, has revealed. And also we're going to cover Sarah Ferguson begged Jeffrey Epstein, just marry me. I mean, what is going on? I don't know what's going on. It's like her story. She was the Bonnie Blue in this story. She was begging Jeffrey Epstein, given the title that she has. I think every single person in the UK should be ashamed in having this person being the Duchess. I mean, it's crazy. The fact that this person had such a title. That title needs to be stripped away. She needs to be, I think she needs to be jailed. I think we need to investigate her kids, investigate every single person who she knows. And if something was, if there's any sort of wrongdoing, we need to investigate in jail. Because what I'm going to show you here, I'm not going to focus more about the crime, the alleged crime, but I'm going to just focus more about her character. What this lady was. The amount of time that she begged Jeffrey Epstein. The fact that she was traveling her kids, her daughters to go see Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, I don't know what kind of mother does that. You pick up your 2 daughters and you go to see Jeffrey Epstein. And then you email Jeffrey Epstein that you're begging him to marry you. I don't know, folks. I'm not sure, but it's important we talk about it. And we're also going to talk about leaked meeting about the army barracks in Cobra. I think this leaked meeting, it's important we talk about this because, I mean, this little secret meeting, this covert meeting that's taking place, we never really get to know about them. And all we see is just, actions. And we're thinking, hey, when did they plan this? What you mean? No, they had a secret meeting a long time ago. So we're going to talk about the secret meeting. And also the last 3 stories exposed sleazy Starmer's government did get involved in Lucy Connolly's persecution. Yes, this was politically motivated persecution. They basically wanted to obliterate her in the public life, where every single person will see that and be scared to challenge or to say a word. Yeah, sleazy Starmer was involved. Yes, we're going to talk about that. And of course, the last 2, we're going to talk about the Labour Party spends £3 million a month to delete patient from the NHS waiting list. I mean, what a disgrace. This West Treaty. is out there telling people, hey, the NHS waiting list is going down. Okay. Now we're going to know that they're paying an agency, they're paying the NHS Trust to basically delete people off the list. And then they're coming to us saying, well done. But then we're looking at the hospital, the number of people the hospital has treated, not many. Then how come? Yeah, now it makes sense. They're paying £3 million a month to basically delete people from the waiting list, which is kind of disgraceful. And of course, the last one, Yvette Cooper has a mission. Yvette Cooper, folks, has a mission. And her mission is to build and create good jobs in Ethiopia. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what's going on here. Yvette Cooper wants to work and build good jobs for Ethiopian people. I mean, what's going on here? Does she think that we're fine over here? Does she think that we're settled over here? Or maybe she just doesn't care. She just doesn't care. All right, folks, if you're joining us right now, please hit the like button. I want to remind you, please hit the like button. We need that like. I know it's free. Some of you guys are stingy with it. So please hit the like button. I can't stress this enough. YouTube is trying so hard to discourage us from keep on going. But they know we're going to keep going. They demonetized us before and we kept on going. For 9 months, we kept on going. And now they're doing exactly the same thing. So please hit the like button. Hit the like button. Now let's get straight into this. Tommy Robinson first. Let's do the Tommy Robinson first video. I think this is gonna be fire as always. They always embarrass these people. It's crazy that these people still have work. It's crazy that these people still call themselves journalists. But yeah, it's important that we listen to this. All right, cool. Let's look at this. All right, so okay. What's going on here? Hold on, 2 seconds, folks. Which story are we covering right now? All right, first story. This is the first story we're covering. So, all right, first story starts from now. Okay, let's play this video and let's see what happens.
Currently, a little bit of chaos going on. There's loads of mainstream media here today. Tommy Robinson's here.
Yeah. Where are you from? YTV. Can I just ask you a couple of questions?
Not really. Can I ask you something?
You can. We'll go back and forwards with questions. That's how this will work, yeah? I've been here today. You spoke to women here today.
They've said they feel scared. So you have multiple convictions yourself. You apologise for your criminality.
Sorry, sir.
Go on.
Will you apologise for your criminality, Mr. Robinson?
My criminality?
Yeah.
I've got a couple of criminal convictions. I've faced warfare since trying to talk up for community service. The reason you're here is because
Being
women are
convicted
scared.
of contempt of court, it's not being a victim of warfare, Mr. Robinson. It's breaking the law, isn't it?
No,
It's breaking the law.
Just for the record, contempt of court is a civil offence. It's not actually criminal. No, it's not criminal. It's civil. No, it's civil. You don't know what you're talking about. It's civil.
Being convicted of contempt of court,
It's civil. It's a civil
That's why you were
offence.
sentenced for it.
Civil offence. Civil. You don't know what you're talking about.
Assaulting an off-duty police officer, is that civil offence?
20 years ago. 20 years ago. Let's get why we're here. At least you know my criminal convictions because you know the 800 men who are in their airbase. You don't know their criminal convictions, do you?
To you.
You don't know who they are.
To you.
No, I know that a woman, Rhiannon White, was murdered and butchered by these men. I know that 7 women last week were raped by these men, including 12-year-old children. So whilst you know what I'm about, so you can see what I'm about, yeah, you don't know who your 800 people are. You don't know how they think, you don't know where they come from, you don't know if they're terrorists, you don't know if they're jihadis, you don't know if they're raped, you don't know if they're murdered. You know nothing, which is why the women are scared. So as you've just said, you've spoke to women, if this isn't about me, why are you making this about me? I'm here to report like you are as a journalist. Now you should be reporting on why this entire town centre, as far as you can see, is full of locals. It's not full of local men, It's not full of local criminals. It's full of local women, local mothers, local grandmothers.
And women are also worried about the sexual abuse that comes from British citizens, isn't it? It's not something that's uniquely
Excuse me, sir.
responsible, is it?
These people are here because they're worried because they've lost their town centre.
Who have they lost
Do
their
you know
town
what?
centre
Do
to?
you know why you're
Listen,
losing?
they're
Do you know
all-
why
they're
no
all-
one listens to you? This is why no one listens to you.
Well, no one listens to me at all.
No, they're not going to listen to you either. You have an opportunity to come here today as a media, and you have an opportunity to give a voice to the voiceless. The voiceless are the women that are telling you how scared they are. You just said they're telling you how scared they are. And rather than come and tell the story of these women, you come and want to attack me over something I'd done 20 years ago when I had a punch up in the street 20 years ago.
I'm asking you why you're the one to lecture the public.
I'll tell you
about
why.
British
I'll
law.
tell you why. You have no respect.
We're listening
No,
to you,
listen,
though.
listen.
That's
I'll tell you why. Because you're not coming here to give them a voice. You're coming here to smear them.
We've spoken
You're
to multiple
you're
women
coming
today,
here
and
to
I'm
smear.
very happy to
You're
speak to them.
You're coming. So why are you making it about me? Why aren't?
Because
Okay,
we're
let
having
me
a
ask you.
conversation. You're saying that women don't feel safe. I'm
Should they
saying
feel safe?
You are somebody.
Should women feel safe in the city centre?
Of course, women should feel safe in the city
So,
centre.
do you think? Now listen. Do you think it's right that undocumented men that we know nothing about are busting into his town centre in their hundreds every week? Do you think that's right?
I'm not here to answer your question.
Do you think it's right?
asking-
Do you think it's right as a man, as a British man, you're speaking to scared women? Should they be scared? Is it right they're scared in their own town?
My question to
No,
you
no, no.
is
I'm
why
asking you a
you
question.
Why are you
I'm
choosing
asking-
to focus?
I'm asking you a question.
Answer.
Why don't you answer the question? I'm asking you a question.
Answer.
I'm asking you a question. Is it right that mothers, grandmothers, and children are scared in this town centre? Is
It's
it
not
right?
right that anyone feels scared. My
So, okay,
question to
okay,
you is
okay,
why
so it's not
choose
right.
to focus on 600 people in Wethersfield Asylum Centre rather than the thousands of people every day who
I'll
are
tell you why.
convicted of sexual
I'll
offences?
tell you why. Because you
I'll
could
tell you this about
I'll tell you
violence against women and girls. It's not the same
I'll
as
tell
what
you
you're talking
why.
about.
Have you looked into how they think on women?
What do you know about Afghanistan?
I just told you what they think.
Well,
I know,
you told
I've
me that
researched.
99% of Afghanis, as you call them,
Want Sharia law?
want Sharia law without any evidence for that fact at all. You've not been to Afghanistan and done a straw poll.
I don't know.
Hey, don't waste your time.
Don't waste
No,
your time.
okay, well we can add this in. But let me ask you, yeah?
Listen, I appreciate you speaking to us, but you want to...
Can I give you some advice? Because you're failing, you're losing viewers.
Yes.
The reason citizen journalists are here is because of your failure. Yeah. The reason that I have become such a recognised journalist is because of your failure. It's because when you come to places like this and you report, I checked your reporting on issues yesterday. You label all these people as far right. I've checked. Yeah. Far right demonstrations.
Women,
What's far
children.
right about a nana or a mother or a daughter wanting safety? What's far right about that?
start moving back!
What's far right about it?
I've not called anyone far right, Mr.
So
Robinson.
you-
I'm not here to
No,
call anyone anything.
ITV, your news, you're from ITV, you brand these people as far right on these demonstrations. So I'm going to ask you again. The
Mr.
NANs,
Robinson, I'm not going to answer your
you
question.
can't answer.
Well, I've asked you why you're here. You've explained why
I'm
you're
here
and
as
I
a journalist.
appreciate
I'm
that.
here as a journalist to do the job that you don't. That's why I'm here. Where's the start of the march? Let's get back on the march.
At least Tommy will tell the truth, yeah?
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, this is what we have here now. This is what it is. Don't you just love it? It's like the house of cards is slowly just crumbling. It's falling. It's falling. And I love to see this. I love to see it. The fact that now all of them are being exposed. The mainstream media has been exposed. They're being confronted everywhere they go. Nobody wants to talk to them. People want to talk to us. People want to go out there and report themselves. They don't trust. They don't turn up to the mainstream media, the guy who will just put a teleprompter there and read some lies. They don't trust those guys anymore. They trust people like us who will sit here, teleprompter free, and deliver our broadcast maybe for 2 hours, 3 hours straight. 4 hours straight if we can. If the tea is, if the tea can go long enough. People want to do that. of course, they've lost. And now the people that these mainstream media guys were protecting all the time, people like Jeffrey Epstein, people like all these Lord Mendelssohn, and people like all these princes. Oh God, we're gonna get into it. Duchess. Oh God, we're gonna get into it. Now, those guys are also being exposed. The Jeffrey Epstein file has revealed one thing for sure, that we cannot trust the people at the top. Nobody, no matter what they say to you, they will look at you in the eyes and tell you, hey, you know, it's appalling to rape girls, it's appalling. But they're out there sleeping with young kids. That's what Jeffrey Epstein's file has released, has revealed, has exposed, has confessed. And we're going to get deep into it. And it's good to see that these journalists, the so-called mainstream media journalists, Sky News to be correct here on this footage, they cannot be trusted. The public look at them and be like, okay, you got a bigger camera, but it's okay. I'm gonna go talk to the guy with the phone instead, because I know he's not gonna manipulate the interview that I'll do with them. I know he's not gonna try to edit something out. I know he's not gonna try to cut the 1 hour podcast into 2 minutes video, trying to manipulate. Nobody trusts them anymore, and that is beautiful to see. The house of cards is collapsing, it's falling, and it's lovely to see, folks. Man, respect to Tommy Robinson for confronting him. Respect. All right, we got a lot of stories to cover today. Now, here's another one that I want to cover with you guys. This is I don't know if you guys are aware of this lady. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this lady, folks. So, this is, how would you call it? How do you call this lady? Who is she? Like, this is Sarah Ferguson. I don't know, there's a background sound coming on. Let me know. Can you guys hear me properly? There's something's going on. We lost the voice, then we got it back, and now I'm hearing some sound. Hold on. All right, we're fine. Don't know. We're fine. Cool. So this lady, sorry, let's get this flipping. God, 2 seconds, folks. I don't know what's going on, but something. Wow, I'm so pissed, bro. I'm telling you. Even maybe I'm just too warm, too hot, and a lot of things I've messed up along the way to get this broadcast working. Now I'm just easily agitated now. But just give me a second. I want to fix this shit. All right, folks. Sarah Ferguson, Prince Andrew's ex-wife. Yep, Prince Andrew is freaking ex-wife. She has been exposed, rightfully so. It's good to get these people exposed. I love to see when these guys are fully exposed, like showing their true colors, their true face of who these girls really are. You will look at this person in the eyes and you'll be like, wow, wonderful wife. Wow, wonderful girl. Oh, what a wonderful duchess. Oh, wow, wonderful mother. But no, what this lady has been doing is, quite frankly, disgrace to the monarch. Given what she's done, I don't know how we can trust anyone anymore. Can we really trust anyone that comes to our face and tell us that they are good, righteous people? They're good. You know, they take care of their kids. They take care of their loved ones. They don't like pedophiles. Oh, maybe they have a charity somewhere that they do. Hey, maybe Sarah's Trust Fund. Sarah's Trust Charity, where now they're helping young children, they're helping families, community. Can we really trust these people anymore? Because this is somebody that was trusted. People were calling her when they needed help. Community were calling her when they needed help, according to her, to what her charity was doing. Now the charity has been closed, rightfully so. Should be investigated, to be fair. Because the amount of kids that she was working with, the amount of kids the charity was helping, concerning given the revelation that's come out from the Jeffrey Epstein's file. We need to look into that charity, folks. We can't just say, hey, charity's closed, let's move on. No. Okay, close the charity, but we're going to look into it. Was this also used to send kids? You know, because, yeah, he was working with kids. Was this used to do something? We need to check in. Just because it's not in a file doesn't mean he did not participate in it. But this is Sarah Ferguson. Well, according to Jeffrey Epstein, this is Fergie. This is just Fergie. Yeah, apparently Jeffrey Epstein likes to give them new names. And they loved it. You know, we had Pete Mandison. He had a new name. He had Pete. They were calling him Petey. Fucking, these are grown men. It's crazy, but let's get into the story. I'm not going to react too much, but let's get into the story. Sarah Ferguson, she's been alleged of basically being involved in having a secret child. Well, she said that Jeffrey Epstein had a secret child. So I'm going to read this with you guys. So Sarah Ferguson congratulated him on the note sent on September 21st, 2001, after he was already convicted of sex sex with underage girls, according to the latest drop from the Epstein file. She said, this is what she said. I'm going to read it out. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm going to read it out. This is what she said. She says, I don't know if you're still on this BBM. Don't know what that is. BBM. I don't know if you're still on this BBM. The doc that you have, I've heard from the doc that you have had a baby boy, Ferguson wrote according to the emails. So, and then of course she went on. Yeah, such a beg she was, right? This is such a evil. You know, she was just begging of him. It's crazy, like the amount of emails she was sending him, like, oh, I thought you disappeared. Then she followed on and she said, this is what she said. She said, I'm reading the top thing now. In another message, Ferguson claimed Jeffrey Epstein had disappeared and said she wasn't aware he was about to become a father. So this is the first email, the line at the very top. She followed by, you have disappeared. I did not even. It was so crystal clear to me that you were only my friend. You were only friends with me to get to Andrew. Whoa. Oh God, this is crazy. And that really hurt me deeply, more than you know. All right. Okay, this is very important because you have to know because you have to know that these guys broke up long time ago, right? They divorced long time ago, but they still live together. We all know why they live together. They live together so they can, they can suck the money out of the monarch. They can just suck the money together, and they can remain the title, and they can remain the prestige appearances whenever they go outside. They can have all that. So they didn't want to break up. You have to know she did not want to move on. She wanted people to still think they're still working things out. They moved house together, even though they broke up long time ago, but they were still doing the things together, whatever, right? And now we're getting to know that, okay, Jeffrey Epstein had a baby and she knew about it, but the crazy thing is, I'm not sure if it's her baby. It doesn't look like it's her baby, right? I don't think it's her baby, but if it is, I would not be surprised. But this is another screenshot I want to show you that shows that it's not her baby. Because in another screenshot, it's a diary in a separate document released in the latest obviously Epstein files, in the same Epstein file dump that was released last week on Friday. This is what he had saying on it. This is what it says on it. It says, I mean, folks, this is insane, folks. What you're going to be seeing here, or what I'm showing you here, is the most evil stuff ever that you're gonna see today in this Jeffrey Epstein stuff. Now there's more stuff that I found, but this is just evil. Now They had Jeffrey Epstein had a baby, yeah, and I want to read you what happened to the girl. I want to read you what happened to the little girl that gave birth to this child, right? Basically, what they were doing was they were doing this. I don't know if they would like. Okay, let me just tell you. I don't know if I can say this online. I'm not sure if I can say this, but these guys, a lot of people are participating, or maybe we're getting to know now. Oh, I mean, I knew long time. They were participating into. They were turning human beings into baby incubators, in the terms where they were having sex with these young kids, and as soon as these kids or young girls or ladies have babies, they take the kids away from them, in the sense where they're like, all right, thank you so much for popping it out. I'm going to take care of you. And yeah, we're going to see you once you recover and we're going to do it again, in a sense. Now they got a fresh new meat. I mean, I don't know what I can say, bro. I don't know what I'm allowed to say on this YouTube since we've been demonetized. Not demonetized, but since we are being censored heavily, I don't know what I can say. I can't say. But this whole thing is just insane. But I want to read you an article here. By the way, I'm trying to give you as much as I can, okay? I'm trying to give you as much as I can. Now, this article goes deep. And this is what it says. Epstein had a secret child. Email claims. Sarah Ferguson congratulated pedophile on birth of a baby boy 15 years ago. It carries on. Jeffrey Epstein has a secret child according to a message sent to him by Sarah Ferguson, the former Duchess of York. I congratulate the pedophile on the birth of a quote-unquote baby boy after he was released from jail in 2011. She offered Epstein her quote-unquote love, friendship, and congratulation after hearing the news from the Duke, probably referring to Andrew, the Prince Andrew, her ex-boyfriend. So the story goes on, but then it gets even deep. It gets even crazier here. You might be thinking, okay, maybe they had a kid, maybe he had a sexual intercourse with an older. Maybe, maybe Jeffrey Epstein, maybe Ghislaine Maxwell, whatever. But no, just listen to this story now, yeah? Just listen to this. It gets deeper, right? Let me actually zoom in. I can't really see this properly. Can you guys see this properly? I can't. The screen is too back. Sarah Ferguson messaged Epstein via BlackBerry Messenger, which is delivered as an email notification. In a separate document released in the latest tranche, a teenager girl claimed the daughter she shared with Epstein was taken away from her minutes after birth. The diary entries, which is this is the diary that we're talking about here, folks. This is the diary that we're talking about. So let me try to show you everything while I'm reading this thing. So let me know. Can you guys see this? Okay. All right, so that's the diary, and this is of course the email, this article I'm reading right now at the very top. So this is what happened to the girl. So a girl claimed that she gave birth to Jeffrey Epstein. She claimed, this is an allegation by the way, she claimed that she gave birth to Jeffrey Epstein, but the baby was taken away from her minutes after birth. The diary reads, you can see the diary at the very bottom. The diary entries allege that the mother gave birth in about 2002 when she was age 16 or 17, among with a copy of pregnancy scan. You can see the pregnancy scan there. And she says she makes reference to Ghislaine Maxwell being present at the birth too. So Ghislaine Maxwell was there, maybe just waiting for the baby to come out, and so they can take it. Now, the email reads on. It carries on saying, the woman who refers herself as a human incubator. Just imagine, they turn these little girls, 16-year-old by the way, 16, 17, maybe even 15. She gave birth when she was 16, so meaning that they had her before the age of 16, and maybe they had her maybe when she was 15, 14 and stuff. So she said the woman who referred herself as the article reads on, the woman who refers herself as a human incubator said, quote, she was born she was born, I heard her cry. I saw the tiny head and the body between the doctor's hand. Ghislaine Maxwell said she was beautiful. Where she is. Where is she? So she didn't even get to touch her kid. Imagine how deep that is, folks. Imagine how deep that is, where you give birth and somebody else takes it away because, yeah, thank you so much for giving birth. Now it's mine. I'm going with it. This is what they do. They turned human being into basically human incubators, where they brought all these kids so they can give birth and they can take the kids. God knows what they did to the kid, folks. We don't even know where the kid is. And she's asking, where is the kid? Well, 15 years now. Where's the kid? And now we're getting to learn that maybe, allegedly, that they were eating babies. I mean, I can't really say yes or no on that, but the question is, where is the baby? All right, where is the baby? All right, this is the screenshot here. I don't know if you guys can see. Can you guys see this properly? This finger's froze. So that's the thing that's going on. Now, of course, she carries on. I don't know. Can you guys see this? Everything's froze. Man, this is a shamble, folks. I don't know what's going on, but I'm really pissed right now. Wow. All right, folks. I don't know what's going on, but see it. Let me know. Can you see my screen? I'm scrolling this PDF, but it's not moving. All right, what can we do here? Well, let me fix this. You know when you put so much time to make sure the broadcast is smooth, and then you go live and everything's just like some doggy shit. It's like, it looks like you didn't even try. And you're thinking, bro, what the fuck, bro? I put so much time. What's going on? Your first live stream ended within 2 minutes. And now your second broadcast, Rumble just went down. And your second broadcast is just frozen. This is fun. Isn't it fun? And then YouTube silence everybody. All right, this is fun, I guess. This is fucking fun, okay. I don't know what's going on. Bro, what the fuck? 2 seconds, folks. I'm really annoyed now. All right, okay, cool. We're back. We're back. If it happens again, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to shave my hair or something. I'm really agitated right now. This shit is pissing me off. Anyways. So she carries on. The diary carries on. This is the diary, by the way. This is the diary. And, of course, they only showed us what they're able to show. You can tell there's a lot of things that are blocked. But yeah, this is what we have, and this is what we can deal with, I guess. These guys are demons, and they are protecting them heavily. So the diary entries discuss the difficulty of childbirth. Yeah, of course, she was 16. The diary discussed the difficulty of a childbirth, and then having only 10, it says here, 10 to 15 minutes to hold and feel a baby before they tuck her away. Imagine this young girl, 16-year-old, you've been forced to give birth. You refer yourself to a human incubator, meaning it was so bad. And you only got to see your kid and to touch her and feel her for 10 minutes before they took her away. And just listen to who is involved in this thing. Just listen to this. Now it goes on. She said, this lady says, she is mine. I want her back. It's granted, as she added. I mean, I want to know what they did to the kid, folks. I don't know what they did to. We can only imagine. We can only imagine. All right. We can only imagine. We can only imagine what they did to the kid, folks. So yeah, Jeffrey Epstein maybe had a secret child. We don't know who that child is. We don't know what they did to that child because it looks like that 16-year-old kid. Of course, now she refers herself as a human incubator. It looks like they wanted her to give birth. And as soon as she gave birth, they said, thank you so much. And yeah, thank you so much. We're going to take the baby from here. And then we're learning more information that's saying that these guys were allegedly eating babies, eating humans. Now we're thinking, what happened to the kid? That's the question. What happened to the kid? Is the kid somewhere? Because the kid now could be 15, 16-year-old now. We'll never know, I guess. We'll never know. And everything's redacted. Everything's redacted. I want to know who else they're protecting. Why are you even blocking anything? You should just let it out. Okay, I get it. You're trying to protect victims. I understand. But there's so much redaction going on. It's just like, hey, let us know. Let us see. And the crazy thing is that nobody has been arrested yet. How slow is the justice system? Think of this, folks. You know when you and I messed up? You know when you and I like somehow do something wrong? Instantly the police knocks on your door. They're like, hey, Barack, you're being wanted. And you're thinking, hey, what's going on? Wanted by who? No, you're going to find out at this station. But there's documents of people raping kids. Allegation of them eating babies. And somehow all we get is just like, comment, and subscribe for the next dump. Share, like, comment, subscribe. That's all. Literally, that's all we gain. We're like, oh yeah, like, comment, subscribe for the next release. Are we not gonna chop anyone's like? Are we not gonna execute somebody here in these files? Are we not gonna publicly humiliate some of these celebrities? Put them in the cuffs? Put them in jail at least for minimum of life? Are we not gonna do any of that? We're just gonna just react in a sense where like, oh yeah, another fire dumped. Oh yeah, another Jeffrey had secret child. Oh yeah, Sarah Ferguson did this with her kid. Oh yeah, and we just move on. I feel like today's population is easily manipulated in the sense where if this was to happen back in the days, I'm talking maybe 1859 or maybe 1914. If something like this was to actually way back then now. 1776 maybe. Everything will be burnt down. But today, kids will be raped at the next industrial level. Politicians are involved. Businessmen are involved. All celebrities are involved. But all we get is just like, comment, subscribe for the next video. Like, comment, subscribe for the next release. And we all move on. Yeah, I hope we don't stay this weak. I hope we don't stay this. I hope the next generation comes in with more cry for action rather than just expose it. But folks, we're gonna move into the next story, which is even worse. We're gonna talk about this lady, Sarah Ferguson. Still, we're gonna talk about Sarah Ferguson. Let's talk about her. All right, folks, I don't know what's going on with this laptop. I'm not sure what's going on, but I need to fix something here. All right, cool. We're going to talk about this other story. Oh, man, this lady, man. How do we describe this girl? Sarah Ferguson, or Fergie, the way Jeffrey Epstein used to address her. Yeah, she's a naughty one, isn't she? Sarah Ferguson told Jeffrey Epstein, just marry me. 6 months after the pedophile was released from jail. And she offered him a VIP tour of Buckingham Palace. new emails release show. Folks, this lady ran a big ring to this. I don't know how we can look at the monarch the same. I don't know how we can be quiet about this. We can't be quiet about this because these are the people who we see and we respect, the way they dress, the way they do their stuff, and we look at them thinking, this is beautiful. This is the culture. Yes, princes, queens, and duchesses and kings. And now we're getting to learn that the king's son is implicated in raping and sexually assaulting young kids and having ties to a mastermind, a financer of pedophile ring, a pedophile, convicted sex offenders, the guy who turned kids into prostitution, the guy who owned an island full of inviting politicians and blackmailing them and making them getting this in this satanic stuff that you can't really discuss here on YouTube without being censored. You can't really give your opinion in how it went, in how this thing actually happened. This is what we have. Sarah Ferguson begging Jeffrey Epstein to marry her. Yeah. Just marry me, Sarah Ferguson says. Just marry me, please. Just marry me. Sarah Ferguson says, just marry me. You know, I'm going to be your baby girl. Just marry me. Now, let me read you this article. I think it's important that you see this article with me. I think it's important that you see this article with me. So look. So here it is. Sarah Ferguson told Jeffrey Epstein, just marry me, 6 months after the pedophile was released from jail, and offered him a VIP tour to Buckingham Palace. New email shows. Sarah Ferguson told the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein to quote unquote just marry me 6 months after he was released from prison, according to newly released emails. The message sent in January 2010 was included in millions of documents released relating to the disgraced financier made public by the U.S. Department of Justice on Friday last week. Epstein had been released from Palm Beach County Jail in July 2009, having served 13 months of 18-month sentence for soliciting sex from girls as young as 14. So he was a convicted pedophile now. You would think somebody with a brain, a duchess, you would think somebody who has 2 daughters would be like, no, I don't want to get close to that monster. You'd think somebody with a brain would be like, I don't want to get close to him. But guess what? Sarah Ferguson, she wanted to have a go as well. She wanted to... Okay, this is disgusting. Let's just carry on reading this article. All right, folks. The article carries on. It reads, in the emails, Mrs. Ferguson wrote, "You are a legend." Fucking hell. This girl had no shame, folks. She had no freaking shame. In the email, she writes, "You are a legend. I really don't have words to describe your generosity. I really don't have words to describe your love, gratitude, gratitude for your generosity and kindness, XX. I am at your service. Just marry me." She sent that email to Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, how do you look at yourself in the mirror, bro? This girl was begging for power so much that she was willing to go and marry somebody who had just been convicted of being a pedophile. And you want to know the crazy thing is? The crazy thing is this. This is the crazy thing. She took her daughters to go see this pedophile. I mean, you gotta be insane to do such a thing. yeah, let's get deep into this. The crazy thing is that she also used the Buckingham Palace, the place that hundreds and thousands of people pay money every single year. The foreigners pay money every single year to come into this country just to see the Buckingham Palace, just to see the building. Thousands of people pay money every year to just come see the building. This lady was using that building to bribe basically Jeffrey Epstein into marrying her. Over message in the cash suggests that the former Duchess invited Jeffrey Epstein and his friend for a VIP tour of the Buckingham Palace. What do you mean? You don't own that. Who said you can make such a decision? Hey Jeffrey, you can come chill with me over here, Jeffrey. Hey Jeffrey, there's a building here I currently occupy. You can come and chill with me over here. There's no problem over here. You can come and sit here with me. Bring your friends as well. It's crazy. In June 2009, while Jeffrey was still serving his sentence, she told him, I can organize anything. Wow, I can organize anything, folks. I'm a top G. I'm Sarah White. Sorry, I'm really sorry. I'm Sarah Ferguson. I can organize anything. After he asked about arranging a VIP tour to access something special in London for the daughter of the lawyer Alan Dershowitz. Yeah, Alan Dershowitz. I don't even want to get into that. I'm going to be called anti-Semite if I get into that. It's crazy, bro. The deeper you dig into this, the more anti-Semite you become, I guess. Fucking hell. This Alan Dershowitz guy is another big guy. I think a lot of people should pay attention to him since he has the A's of the presidents right now. He has the A's of the United States president. I think Alan Dershowitz is a dangerous guy. Very dangerous. But hey, if you touch that topic, you are basically an anti-Semite if you do. But I don't know how we got to this point. But I care about young people. I care about having a country where we won't have powerful people implicating in stuff like this. So I'm going to talk about every fucking shit I need to talk about. If that needs to be spoke about for me to protect the vulnerable young children and women. But in this email, it goes further. She invited this guy. She's trying, hey, I can do anything. I can invite you in. I can set you dinner. I can do all this. Buckingham Palace. She was bargaining for this. She was trying every single thing she could just to get this person, Jeffrey Epstein, so Jeffrey Epstein can introduce her to other people. So she's like, oh yeah, I can do anything that you want. Buckingham Palace is yours. Just marry me. All right, this is insane. In another email dated September 2009, Ferguson made further remarks about marriage, suggesting Epstein made what do you mean made an unnamed woman with a great body, adding, okay, marry me and then we will employ her. What do you mean marry me then we'll employ her? What? Okay, so this is the article here. In another email dated September 2009, Mrs. Ferguson made further remarks about marriage, suggesting Epstein made an unnamed woman with a greater body, adding, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is what it says. She added, saying, okay, marry me and we can employ her. Employ her to do what? To become a sex slave? Employ her to do what? To become a human incubator? This is what this Sarah Ferguson girl was doing. And she leveraged her position to embolden this pedophile. Of course, Jeffrey Epstein was already emboldened because he had a lot of people blackmailed. He had a lot of people, he had a lot of pictures of people in their underwears. And I'm talking about Lord Mendelssohn here. He had a lot of people, pictures with them with young kids. And I'm talking about Prince Andrew here. He had a lot of videos of all these powerful people, including audios of the then Prime Minister of Israel, Ehud Barak, whatever his fucking name is. Oh shit, gotta be careful here now. They're powerful people still. It's crazy that these people are still feared. But you still gotta be careful. So of course Jeffrey Epstein was already emboldened. But somehow this Sarah Ferguson girl just wanted to give more to him. She wanted to try to please him, begging him to marry her. It's like, I've never seen a girl that does such a thing. But no, she was like, hey, you know, you met this unnamed woman with a greater body. If you marry me, we can employ her. It's insane. It's crazy. It's crazy, folks. Something needs to be done about this. And we can't have these guys just come in here and say, oh yeah, we're sorry, we apologize. No. We need people to be arrested, all right? We need arrestment. We need people jailed, okay? We've had enough of people coming out and say they're sorry. We need them in jail now, all right? That's what I'm asking for. But of course, Jeffrey Epstein was obviously, since he was doing this not only with her, he was doing this with everybody else. He was manipulating every single person. He was good at it, whatever he was doing. Evil guy, but he was good at it in a sense where he was manipulating a lot of 100 people. He was getting everybody together, taking pictures with them. But Epstein wanted to also leverage the power and also use the former Duchess, into going online and saying Jeffrey Epstein is not a pedophile. Here's another document that shows, and then I'm going to play a video of her when she appeared on this American news outlet, and she was defending him as well. But this is the documents. Let's see if we can share this on the screen before. Is it frozen? All right, it's not frozen. Okay, cool. It's not frozen. So the documents also reveal Jeffrey Epstein sought to pressure Ferguson into releasing a statement claiming he was not a pedo, and she had been duped into believing false allegation about him. So, of course, this guy is a convicted pedophile. Yeah, he's convicted. He's been jailed for it. But guess what? There's one lady who does not believe it. There's one lady who apparently has been duped by a false allegation, and Jeffrey Epstein knew that he could use her position of power in a sense, and he can leverage her name and the title that she had, because her voice was obviously, people would listen to that. And she said, hey, let's pressure her so she can go out and say I'm not a pedophile. Now, here's a video of her appearing at one American news channel. And yeah, she was defending herself and defending her ex-husband, Prince Andrew. And of course, defending the man who she had been begging to marry her. Listen to this, folks.
So I wanted to ask you about these allegations that have surfaced about Prince Andrew, your ex, you call him your favorite ex, that it's from a woman who says that between 1999 and 2002, when she was underage, she was forced to have sex with Prince Andrew on several occasions. What was your reaction when you heard that?
Well, knowing him as I know him, and he's one of the greatest men I've ever met in my life, and my best friend, and great father to my children, I just thought, I don't understand in this day and age how people can make salacious lies up, and how the media actually then write about it, and then follow on with it. This is defamation of character of a person that is the opposite to how he's being portrayed. So Buckingham Palace put out a denial, and on his behalf, and that's how it works within the royal family, and they stand by that denial. There's nothing more to be said, and I think it is just shockingly accusatory lies, which I won't stand by and let anybody believe, or I just have to shut it down right now.
Was it hurt, your first reaction, or anger?
Total fury.
Total fury.
Yes, because we are such a family unit, and you know yourself, Meredith, I think you've interviewed me many times on whatever else they've written about me. So I know what it's like to have this about you and not be able to say, you know, I never did it, I didn't do that, I didn't do this, because then everyone goes, oh yeah, really? So the truth is, I want to say it on his behalf, and I want to for the Beatrice and Eugenie are 26 and 24, and they're beautiful, courageous children. Can you imagine what they've seen with their mother, having gone through negativity in the press, now their father, you know, back off. We are a really solid, beautiful family, and that's really it.
So what are you saying in the confines of your home, the four of you?
That we will not be defeated, we are impenetrable, and that we will show by success.
This is the reason why sometimes you do not trust women. I have to say, sometimes women's voice are usually super convincing. If a girl's telling you, I didn't do it, you're almost like, you almost feel like she's not lying. Because she'll look at you in the eyes, she'll have all these expressions, and you're thinking, oh man, she's definitely not lying. But she is lying, she was lying. And all these things have exposed her. The fact that she's saying, oh, my children were just turning 2019. Oh my God. How could somebody make such a lie? How could somebody? My family is very strong. We're going to be strong together. We are a bond. We will never be fought. We are imperishable, she says. In a sense. Nobody can separate us. Okay, then we get to learn that. Oh God. We get to learn that she took her kids. She took her kids. Can you guys see this? I think this thing is all right. It's back again. It's keep frozen, this shit. That she took her kids to meet Jeffrey Epstein. And the things that she was saying to Jeffrey Epstein about her kids. Look at this. This is what she was saying to Jeffrey Epstein about her kid. No show yet. Just waiting for Eugene to come back from a shaggy night. From a shaggy weekend. Who says that about her daughters to a random... Well, not random guy that we've learned that she was begging him to marry her. Yeah, not a random guy. We're learning that this guy was obviously the guy who she was begging for him to marry her. Yeah, so of course, obviously, not a random guy. She said this. She's like, yeah, I'm just doing nothing right now. I'm just waiting for Eugene to come back from a shaggy weekend. What kind of parents does that? And by the way, the kids are like 9. Well, at this time, the kids were like 19. Yeah, just gone to a shaggy weekend. All right, let me text my friend, you know, Jeffrey Epstein. Hey, my kids are shagging in this weekend. I mean, who does that? My parents don't even know I've done. I mean, you don't even say that to your parents. I don't know. I can't even say shit here. I can't even say shit. My parents don't even know anything. Never mind my mom saying, oh yeah, Barack is out there doing the shaggy nights. What the fuck? And she's out there looking at the camera saying, it's all lie. They're trying to separate my family. I had no ties. He didn't do nothing. But let me text Jeffrey Epstein and tell him how my daughters are having a shaggy night. Oh, actually, let me just book an appointment to go see Jeffrey Epstein with my 2 daughters so I can go and show them who this man who I'm begging to marry me right now. This is what we are, folks. It's dangerous and it's very manipulative. And the fact that she think we're all stupid, that we all gonna believe that what she's done and what she's been doing, and we're all gonna sit here and feel sorry for them. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck. I want everybody to be arrested. I want her. I want everybody. I want to investigate Eugene as well. I want to investigate Beatrice as well, whatever her name is. I want her to be investigated. Did she somehow was involved in a sense where she somehow suggested a friend? Because she knew about Jeffrey Epstein. And she wasn't a young girl. She was 19, 20 going with her mom to go meet Jeffrey Epstein. The email shows. So yeah. Does she know anything? She needs to be investigated. She needs to go and testify if she's still, I don't know. I don't really catch up on these. I'm not really a super monarchist type of guy. I don't really care about kings and queens. I just want a democracy where people get voted in and voted out. I don't support the idea of somebody being born into something like this. This is what we have. When you have somebody like Prince Andrew being born into wealth, where he's never seen a factory before. Has he ever been in a factory before? Has he ever earned his own? Has he ever worked hard to buy his own phone? Has he ever, sacrificed something, missed the weekend so he can do the extra shift? Missed the party weekend so he can turn up to go work, maybe at United, hospitality work, maybe at City. This is what we have. We have people who do not care because they've seen nothing but luxury. All they do, they want young girls at their disposal. They want people at their disposal. They just want to dispose people. Like Jeffrey Epstein. Did he do anything to earn his wealth? All right, somebody might say, yeah, he was a nice guy, so a lot of Jews donated money to him. Okay. You don't just get 50 million pounds from somebody. You don't just get donated 500, £500 million from a nice, good Jew who loves you. No, they give you because they know you're going to do something for them. And guess what? Oh boy, Jeffrey Epstein did a lot of things for them. A lot of these politicians implicated. The bankers, all these people implicated. And now we're seeing Elon Musk. Can we even talk about Elon Musk to begging to go to the party? Elon Musk just, everybody's coming out saying I did not do it. But look, it's not like some random kid released this emails. This was released by the DOJ, the Department of Justice. It's not Department of Justice in Iraq or Afghanistan. It's the Department of Justice in the United States of America. If we can't believe that, then I don't know. I'm not sure. Especially if you talk years, decades of investigating, of redaction. And now it's coming out and somehow you're telling me, oh yeah, don't look at it. Okay, I'm going to look at it. And I'm going to talk about it. And I think this Sarah Ferguson girl, she needs to be investigated. She needs to be reported to the police. If there was any sort of wrongdoing, if she somehow was involved in some way, shape or form, we need to look at it. We need to investigate her circle as well. Hey, links, maybe the daughters know something. We need to ask them questions. I'm sure they remember. Yeah, they want babies. It's not like the daughters were 3 years old. No. They were 19, 18. The crazy thing is, this girl probably seen young girls being trafficked. And also she had the same range, age range girls with her. That is so evil, bro. You would think women will care more in the sense where they're like, because they are like very nurturing, very protected in whatever they've brought into the world. Very protective. It looks like you would expect a mother would be more protected to see another child being molested, trafficked, and being done wrong stuff to them. I mean, you would expect that, but apparently not from these guys. They see anybody's child as a fair game. They're like, yeah, it's okay, it's not mine, so it's fine. This is dangerous, folks. This is a huge problem, and we need to talk about it. All right, we're gonna move into something else. Folks. I think it's important we talk about this other huge story that we just received. Another huge important story here we need to talk about. I think this story is important. It's important that we talk about this. It's important that we talk about it. I don't know if you guys know, but there's a young girl. Should I say young girl? Yeah, young girl. I have to say young girl who was okay. How do I start this, folks? I need a wait. I need a wait because we're not gonna talk about this one. We're gonna talk about this. Sleazy Starmer was involved, despite him coming out and saying, "Oh no, I wasn't involved. I didn't do anything." despite his prostitution, is people who him put in power. Lord Hermer coming out saying, "Oh, we didn't do anything." Yeah, no. Sleazy Starmer was involved in persecuting Lucy Connolly. Sleazy Starmer was involved. There's no denying that. There's no freaking denying that anymore. They were involved in making sure that this girl was made as an example. They made an example out of this girl, this woman, this mother. And now information is coming out. She's released. She posted this on X, which I'm going to quickly read before I get deep into it. She posted this and she said, 2 seconds, let me just get this thing up here. Here's what she said. So finally, I've obtained my SAR from the CPS. I've been going through the documents and it actually knocks me sick when I see in black and white message, etc., that was being manipulated, and the way my character has been assassinated for the establishment gain. I have so much to say. On so many points, but I thought I would start with this. And this is the screenshot that they put out. I'm gonna show you the picture that she put out. It's really crazy. This is from a screenshot of a bundle that was used by a crown prostitution by the crown. Then she put ready. Sorry guys, I'm looking at something else here, so that's why you can see that I'm reading. You're thinking, hey Barack, what are you reading? 2 seconds. This writing is kind of like it's not matching the screenshot that you're looking at. On the 10th August 2024, consent was gained from an attorney general for the prosecution of Lucy Connolly. But remember, Lord Hermer and that lot had nothing to do with my prosecution. Yeah, I know. They told us that it was, that the government, the Labour Party was not involved. They did not do anything. Everything was coming from from the justice system. They just made a decision. And Keir Starmer had nothing to do with it. And now we're getting to know, screenshots have been released by Lucy Connolly herself, that this came from the very top. This came from the super top. And here's a screenshot that I think is really important to look at. And this screenshot, it says literally, because as you already know, whenever the Crown prosecution signs off something, they write their name and sign it off, right? They always do. And it says here on the documents that she has exposed, this is what it says. I hereby consent to the prosecution of Lucy Connolly, born on obviously the day of birth, for an offense or offenses contrary to the Public Order Act 1986. His Majesty Attorney General. That's a screenshot that was published now. Now we know. It's no longer a speculation. We know now the Labour Party had an arm. They had something to do with this case. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, this is insane. Now, Keir Starmer was asked, long time ago, he was asked if he had something to do with this case. Rupert Law asked him, hey, Keir Starmer, did you have something to do with this case? And guess what Keir Starmer said? No, I did not. Or maybe he denied, but this is the video of him denying it. Now we're getting to know that, hey, the whole government was involved.
Does the Prime Minister agree that imprisoning Lucy Connolly, a young mother with a 12-year-old daughter, for one foolish social media post, soon deleted, is clearly not an efficient or fair use of prison?
Mr. Speaker, sentencing is a matter for our courts, and I celebrate the fact that we have independent courts in this country. I am strongly in favour of free speech. We've had free speech in this country for a very long time, and we protect it fiercely. But I'm equally against incitement to violence against other people. And I will always support the action taken by our police and courts to keep our streets and people safe.
Check out more stories on our channel.
Yeah. So Keir Starmer is out there saying, hey, we did not do anything. We were not involved. No, we were not involved. I like the fact that we have our, our justice system is very independent, that we can't control, we're not involved. The party cannot manipulate, cannot tell the who to go for. But now we're going to learn that this came from the Labour Party's peer. This came from Lord Hermer. There's no longer, we can't sit here and be like, oh yeah, they didn't do anything. No, they did everything to arresting this mother. They did everything. They made sure the whole public know that you cannot do what she did. You cannot say what you want. If you do, this is what will happen to you. This is insane, folks. This is dangerous. This sets a dangerous precedent, I have to say. Imagine how many other people that have been persecuted by the Labour Party. So many. I can probably tell in 2024, all those people, most people that got arrested for protesting, and they were called rioters. Yeah, some people were rioting. Yes, we've seen videos of some people like trying to burn shit down. Yeah, burning shit down. We've seen those people. And yeah, those people, we don't want them in our society. We don't want them in our community if they're willing to go and try and burn somebody. But a lot of other people, like maybe we can name some name, they were wrongly persecuted by, of course, politically motivated persecution by, of course, the Labour Party. And that we got to learn. But listen to this. This is GB News breaking it down and how they see this. Watch.
Well, in some ways, Nana, it's just putting two and two together, because really any offence of stirring up racial hatred does have to be okayed by the Attorney General. But I think the question that many people have been asking, given the attention that's been on Lucy Connolly's case, is was there any political involvement in this? There's been questions over the narrative that was put out by Keir Starmer, for instance, during the riots, that a lot of this was caused particularly by things that were being said online, and there's a great amount of focus on that as a cause. And so really, I just decided to ask the Attorney General's office, was it you that actually okayed this particular case? And they said, well, yes, it was, because they actually have to okay all of them. And I think what's important to note here, Nana, is that that decision, it's true that the Attorney General would ordinarily okay such prosecutions, but that this nevertheless is a decision that he had the power not to make. And I think another key point from that article is that you have the criticism of Suella Braverman, who has weighed in and said that he should not have made that decision. And I'll just quote one bit of what she said, which I think is really important. The charges brought against her were not in the public interest, says Suella Braverman, of course, herself previously the Attorney General. And if she was Attorney General, not have granted consent to prosecute. And I think many people are wondering whether the prosecution of someone like Lucy Connolly, a mother and childminder, let's remember, for one errant tweet that she swiftly deleted, was actually in the public interest.
Because perhaps the public interest was that she should be treated in a manner to dissuade others from actually criticising or commenting on the situation, and she may well have been a scapegoat, because that's what a lot of people are thinking.
Yes, indeed. I think there's, of course, a lot of this is focused on Lucy Connolly, rightly, because she's such an emotive case. But what one has to remember is that there were plenty of other people who were charged with this very, very serious offence of stirring up racial hatred, and which the Attorney General would have consented to. And just one example is that GB News viewers may have heard of is Jamie Michael, so the former Royal Marine. Now, in February, he went to trial for that offence, and viewers may recall that he was acquitted in a matter of just 17 minutes. So dim a view did the jury take of that prosecution. Now, what had he said? He had basically called for people in his local community in the Welsh Valleys to peacefully organise to put pressure on politicians and local councillors not to allow illegal migration into their area. And yet this man was having the book thrown at him at the say-so, or at least with the agreement of the Attorney General. And so, yeah, it's really quite an extraordinary decision. One more point to make here is that the reason that this very, very serious offence, which carries a penalty of up to 7 years stirring up racial hatred, the reason it has to go to the Attorney General is because when the Act was drafted, there was a question of, well, would it be impinging on free speech? And so he had to make that decision, will it impinge on free speech or not? And he said, oh, that's fine. These people people really, seems like that Starmer as well had this idea that they were the far-right thugs and they had to have the book thrown at them. He was totally happy for that to happen and didn't really care about the consequences.
Do you think that he knew the details, the full details of the case then? Because sometimes when someone gives you a form and you just go, oh yeah, just put your signature here, he just put a signature there and just signed it off. Or do you think he actually had some knowledge of it? Because I've taken someone to court, used certain courts, and the judge who was looking after it didn't really appear to have actually read much about the case.
Well, I mean, really, either way, Nana, it looks bad because, of course, he should have known the details very intimately. He should have been aware, for instance, that while, yes, she had said this thing that which everyone rightly condemns, set fire to the hotels for all I care, I think it was. But it was only 5 days after she sent that tweet, which she deleted in 3.5 hours, that there were any attacks on hotels. So it's really, there's not a clear link here, but there's this desire to throw the book at anyone who posted anything online during this period. But so if we say, oh, he didn't really know that much about the case, in some ways that's even worse.
Even worse.
Because he's just basically letting these people get the book thrown at them for something that, he doesn't even know that much about necessarily.
Yeah, sleazy Starmer was involved in persecuting Lucy Connolly. This was a politically motivated persecution. They made it. You basically used it as an example. They made an example of her to make sure everybody is deterred from voicing their opinion, regardless what your opinion was going to be. They made sure that everybody was silenced. No more. Don't say anything, or you're gonna go to jail for 2 years, 3 years. It's insane, folks. And now we're going to learn that this guy, Lord Herman, they call him, I guess. Lord Herman was obviously, he pulled the string for Keir Starmer. He pulled the strings for Keir Starmer, I guess. Lord Herman is facing fresh calls to quit after personally signing off the prosecution of Lucy Connolly. Connolly, the wife of a Conservative councillor who was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison after pleading guilty to stirring up racial hatred in the wake of Southport killing last year. In the tweet responding to the murder of the three girls at Taylor Swift themed dance class. I mean, I vividly remember that time. I vividly remember that time because it was really sad time. I even know what I was doing that day when I received the news. It was really horrific. But let's carry on with this. She called for the mass deportation and said she would not care if migrants in a hotel were attacked. Her social media post was widely condemned, but the scale of her punishment was proved to be highly divisive and prompt cause for a senior politician for her release. So, yeah, Lord Herman, he denied wrongdoing. He said he was not involved in doing this. He said, oh, I didn't do anything. Let me go, please let me go. Don't look at me. Look that way. Now we're getting to learn that this guy was involved from the freaking start. This guy was involved from the beginning. Yeah, it's dangerous, folks. I want to know who else they're going to go after. Because it looks like they have a lot of people on their list. I have to tell you that. They're going after a lot of people. You'll see people getting arrested and they'll be like, oh yeah, he got arrested because he said something wrong. No, he got arrested because Keir Starmer wanted him in the cell. Keir Starmer wanted him in the cell. This is dangerous. This is bad. Now, I want to move into the next story. I want to move into the next freaking story, folks. I think this one will shock you. This one will shock you. It's terrifying. Now, Keir Starmer, the Labour Party, they're spending £3 million every month to get the NHS to delete patients from the waiting list. So then they can come out to us and tell us how great they are doing. And so they can do this marketing and telling us that, oh, we're doing a fantastic job. The queue is going down. And now we're getting to learn that, no, actually, you're paying people and you're paying an NHS trust to basically delete people off the list. So then you can brag about how good you're doing. This is fraud. I don't know how somebody will look at this and be like, wow, this is politician. This guy is doing a political move. No, this is fraud. You're manipulating the numbers. You're exaggerating the numbers. Now, the new exposures come out from the Times, and it says that Keir Starmer and, of course, this sleazy man, what's his name, West Treaty, are out there paying £3 million a month to take patients off the waiting list. What? What kind of fraud? How big of a fraud, I guess? I mean, you have to be an evil person for you to say, all right, we're just going to pay them. We're just going to get them off the list and claim that we actually solved their problem. This is so bad, folks. It's so dangerous. I'm going to tell you one right now. This is so bad and it's so dangerous. Now, look at this. Okay, so look. So the Labour Party, let me share this. The Labour Party exaggerating numbers of extra NHS appointments. So let's get into this. The Labour Party has been accused of exaggerating numbers of... Can you guys see this? All right, great. The Labour Party has been accused of exaggerating the numbers of extra NHS appointments it has created by paying hospitals to remove patients from the waiting list. The NHS Trust has reportedly paid $3 million a month in validation payments to take patients off the list. I mean, this is crazy. Trusts are giving money to brought through list to identify patients who have died or may no longer need or want the treatment they're waiting for. So how do they... Oh, let's carry on reading. And we'll break it down. And it's so crazy because I got a video of West Treaty coming out celebrating how good of a job he's doing. These guys think we're all stupid, folks. Okay, the Labour Party has repeatedly held progress in bringing down the waiting list, which have fallen by around 300,000 since the election. And 2 weeks ago, Keir Starmer said lists were down by 86,000 in a month. Whoa. And somebody will look at this and thinking, wow, that's a lot of progress. But then you get to learn that these two here are paying people to take people off the list so they can brag about it. Keir Starmer has pledged that 92% of patients in England will be seen within 18 weeks by the end of the Parliament. In November the month, Starmer was referring to 82,000 people. 82,000 more people were removed from the waiting list than in the month before. Obviously, people will be like, "All right, that's a lot of progress that you treated these many people in that 1 month. That's a lot of process." But only you get to learn, that this cosmetic clear out. Statistics shows hospitals in fact carrying out around 10% fewer operations than the month before, according to the newspaper. So the hospital is not really doing that much work, but somehow Keir Starmer is saying they're doing so much work that they've reduced the waiting list. Yeah, so much fraud. But before we carry on reading this, I think it's important that... Oh, this finger's froze again. You guys are not able to see what I'm saying here. But I think it's important you guys see this, because this is what West Treaty tweeted. This guy says, for too long, patients were promised change in NHS but saw little of it. Today, waiting lists are down by more than 312,000 since Labour came into government, with an 86,000 drop in November alone. Oof. That's the second biggest drop in 15 years. West Treaty is bragging about this. And then, of course, let's get back to this article where they... This is fraud, folks. This is so bad. But let's get back into I wanted you to see this tweet. So let's get back into this article where... And now he carries on. And he says, for progress that simply hasn't happened. They are bragging about. So Stuart Andrew, the Shadow Health Secretary from the Conservative, he said, ministers are taking credit for progress that simply hasn't happened, paying millions pay millions to the NHS organization for them to massage the waiting list. The waiting list figures is shocking to use taxpayers' money for. He told the Times, wow, this is insane. This is insane. And he also says that a source who served in a previous government told the newspaper Rishi Sunak had refused to sign off on a plan by the NHS to make similar payments. Okay, shout out to Rishi Sunak. He said no to that. Great stuff. But here's where it gets worse. I think this is important for me to read out to you guys. So, this lady, Danielle Jeffries, a senior analyst of the at the King's Fund and the health think tank, said, this is what she said, quote, last month you saw what appeared to be a record drop in numbers of patients on the NHS waiting list. But at the same time, there were no increase in hospital activity in terms of the outpatient appointments or theatre operation. Which is like, these guys are telling us that they've fixed this problem, but they've not actually fixed it. So let me try to get this straight, right? Let me just try to get this straight, okay? So these guys are calling people to get them off the waiting list. So maybe they'll call you, they'll be like, they'll see you on the list. I'm hoping this is what they do. They'll see you on the list, they're like, oh, Jennifer, all right, Jennifer has been waiting for 2 years. All right, Jennifer, okay, let's call Jennifer. She's been waiting for 2 years to be treated on the arm. Okay, they're gonna call Jennifer. They'll be like, hey, Jennifer, how you doing? This is Brandon from the NHS Trust. How you doing? Yeah, I see you here. You've been waiting for 2 years to get treated for your arm. How's that going? And Jennifer will be like, yeah, it's going okay. Oh, it's going okay. All right, okay. How about we do this? You mentioned here you can't lift your arm. Can you lift your arm for me today? And Jennifer probably like, oh yeah, I can lift my arm. And like, oh yeah, great stuff. All right. For that, we're gonna have to remove you from the list. And then West Streeter will come out. And this is what he's gonna do. This is West Streeter today. He's going to come out and do this.
Stop scrolling because I've got some good news. In November, NHS waiting lists fell by a whopping 86,000. The data also shows that compared to last year, people are being seen more quickly in A&E, and satisfaction with accessing GPs has gone from 60% to 75% since Labour came to office. Now, I would be the first to say that there are still too many people waiting, that there are still people waiting too long for an ambulance, and there are people still waiting too long to see a GP. And of course, there have been people on trolleys in corridors this winter. That's what motivates me to go harder and faster in 2026 to deliver the change you voted for. But I hope this gives you the confidence that week by week, month by month, and year on year, the NHS is moving in the right direction under Labour.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much, West Treaty. Thank you. I feel better now that I'm going to get on the list and you're going to call me and take me off. And then you're going to boost about how good of a job you're doing. While there's videos of people coming out there's more people who are dying in the hospital for not being treated, meaning they're dying in the corridors. And this guy's, then there's more people who are dying in a corridor than Sudan. I know you're probably thinking, Barak, that's too extreme. What do you mean? What, really? Yeah, look it up. Sudan now can officially compete with NHS in terms of more people dying. In terms of not many people in Sudan are dying in the corridors of their hospitals, meaning that people arrive to the hospital and get treated. But in NHS, people arrive to the hospital. Yeah, you can wait here in the line. We're going to give you this little chair. Or maybe you can go back home. We're going to reach out to you. And they're going to call you maybe a couple months later and tell you that you're off the list. Or maybe they're gonna call you, or maybe you missed the call and they'll be like, oh yeah, he's not sick anymore. He missed the call. This is what they're doing. This is fraud, folks. And the fact that we're paying taxpayers' money, £3 million a month, in taking people off the list. It's like, how? Why don't we invest? Why don't we invest the £3 million that we're using to take people off the list? Why don't we invest that into making sure we have enough infrastructure, enough people to take care of the people that need the healthcare? This is dangerous. And it's crazy that a lot of people at home think there is change in the Labour Party. It's crazy that a lot of people at home look at these numbers and think that something has been changed. This is crazy. Something needs to be done about it, because a lot of people have been manipulated in thinking that the NHS has been working hard. But no, they're just removing people from the list. They're not looking at it. And they're claiming credit. All right, folks. I needed to report that. Jenny Selly says, my brother died in the corridor. I'm truly sorry, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry for hearing that. I'm really sorry for you. This is what we have now. And then you'll see people like West Street coming out and bragging about how good of a job they're doing. I don't know, folks. This is so bad. It's so bad where we are today. So evil. All right, folks. Here's something I want to talk to you about before we end the broadcast. Look, there's a lady out there who's working very hard, right? We gotta give her credit, okay? Oh God. Can I really talk about this one? Oh God, this one's such a joke, bro. I can't really take this one so serious, you know. So, Yvette Cooper. Yeah, Yvette Cooper. You know Yvette Cooper, right? Remember she was a Home Secretary. You guys did not like her as much. But Yvette Cooper is making moves. Is pulling strings as a foreign minister, as a foreign secretary. She's doing everything that she can, I guess. She is in Ethiopia, and this is what she tweeted today. I am here in Ethiopia meeting with the Prime Minister and ministers, UK and Ethiopian businesses group to talk about jobs, trade, and sustainable growth, tackling illegal migration, promoting regional security, and preventing conflict. The partnership we build abroad makes us stronger at home. All right, great. Great stuff, I guess. All right, thank you so much. You know, the partner that you do over there will make us stronger there. And then we get to learn this partnership is to create more jobs. Not for the British people at home. No, not for you and I. No, we gotta wait. We gotta gamble for the jobs. We have to live like slaves now, in a sense where we're competing. Hundreds of people are applying for one job. Where when I put up an advert for sales company, when I put an advert, we get like hundreds of applicants in like, because I do, when we do it, like I post a job advert at like late at night. Not late, 9 o'clock. And then by 9 o'clock, the job is like hundreds of people have applied. And some of them are from Pakistan. I get on a Zoom call, I'm like, hey. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm in Pakistan. I'm like, well, why do you know? What do you mean you're in Pakistan? But no, instead of her building jobs here, she's building jobs in Ethiopia instead. She's creating good jobs for the Ethiopian people. Now, this is the partnership. Of course, she didn't tweet it out. She didn't say how it is. But when you read through the fine print, you get to know that she's fighting for the Ethiopian people, not the UK. Listen to this, folks.
So I'm here in Ethiopia. I've been meeting the Prime Minister and ministers from across the government, talking to local businesses.
It's a huge honour to be in Ethiopia for my first African visit as Foreign Secretary. The UK-Ethiopia Economic Partnership is a huge opportunity.
We're also building new partnerships around migration too, because in order to tackle some of the serious problems that we have in the UK with small boats, we also need to tackle some of the causes and ensure that there are jobs and opportunities to prevent people migrating in the first place and working on that economic investment.
It's an opportunity too to make sure sure that we've got the jobs of the future for young people.
We've also been talking about the importance of regional stability and preventing conflict. It's why it's so important that there is de-escalation in northern Ethiopia, in all of these areas. It's the partnerships that we build abroad that make us stronger at home.
Yeah. Okay. So now making jobs for Ethiopians are basically the priority that will make us stronger at home. Okay, I get it. Maybe I'm just I don't understand. Maybe I just need to tune in to the Labour Party way of living, and maybe I might get a little bit of context of what she means. But right now, I don't understand. I guess I'll just go with the flow. Isn't that what you expect, Yvette Cooper? That's what you expect, right? We're just gonna go with the flow. We're not gonna question your intention in here, and we're just gonna we're gonna just sit here and be like, yeah, we're gonna just assume that we're doing greater than Ethiopia. That's why we can go out there and create jobs there and not here. This is crazy. Now, of course, a good a guy who William, the SDP party, has obviously made a video responding to this, and this is what he had to say about foreign aid, which essentially this is basically foreign aid, but this is what he had to say on how foreign aid historically hasn't worked for Britain, hasn't working for the receiving, for the person who's receiving, whichever country that is receiving. Listen to this.
Truth 8. Foreign aid won't stop the flow. Keir Starmer thinks we can reduce migrant flows by donating more foreign aid. To anyone with experience of the world, this is quite ridiculous. The causes of warfare, global poverty, and corruption are complex and often intractable. The idea that it's within our power to solve such issues on other people's behalf, to the extent that it would stem the incentive to migrate, is risible. The progressives promoting these ideas forget that such interventions have been tried to destruction.
That's right.
Afghanistan, after receiving aid on a truly fantastic scale, has sunk back into a state of poverty, conflict, and chaos. Progressives may dream it, but foreign aid will not stop the flow.
Yeah. Foreign aid will not stop the flow, folks. This is exactly what happens. We've put billions of pounds, billions of investment into foreign countries, but nothing changes, nothing happens, nothing different happens. They're always gonna come. And it's crazy the fact that all this money that we send, like, oh yeah, we are building roads. Oh yeah, we're gonna send this, we're gonna send this. Oh yeah, we're trying to make an hospital better. Then we get to find out that the money went to some terrorists, some local militia in the area to keep the war going on. Like, look at what's going on in Sudan. So much foreign aid from Saudis, right? So much foreign aid from the Western country in Sudan, isn't it? Somehow it's helping everybody, right? It's helping everybody in Sudan. Yeah, Saudi Arabia wants to send something for Sudanese to help themselves. Then we get to learn that they're sending weapons, they're sending this, and they're backing the militia. Oh yeah, we get to learn Egypt is also sending stuff, foreign aid, I guess, right? Everybody's pulling strings. Oh yeah, Russia is sending foreign aid to Sudan. Oh yeah, then we get to learn that Russia has picked its side and they're funding it. United States has sent foreign aid to... Then we get to learn everybody has picked a side. And this was been happening. It's been happening in Nigeria too. It's happening in Congo. It's happening everywhere. And now, foreign aid continues from the United Kingdom to Ethiopia. And we're there to build more work, more jobs for them. And the British people can just cry for the crumbles, I guess. But folks, that is the end of the broadcast. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I really do appreciate you. All right. Oh, God. We got it done. We got it done. Despite all the voice going off, silence, the microphone not working, the speaker not working, the laptop freezing, everything, the broadcast ending 2 minutes into it, then we had to start again. Despite all that, we still got the live stream done. What a broadcast it was. It was good, right? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, folks. I hope you guys did as well. Let me just check the chat, what you guys are saying. Oh, God. Help. Guys, think of today's broadcast. Just tuning in. Regular faces, regular voices, regular names. Appreciate you guys for always tuning in. I really do appreciate you guys. Although we're going through a heavy censorship period right now on YouTube and every other platform. But we're still going to carry on just like we did last year when we were censored, shadow banned, demonetized for 9 months. We still kept on going last year, and I think this year they're trying to run the same play, but we're not going to let them win. Regular faces. Jenny, how you doing? I'm really sorry for your brother, man. I'm really sorry for what happened to him. Jenny says he was left to die. They knew in the morning after testers, and they left him. Yeah, it's becoming a shambles now in the NHS. It's becoming very dangerous now. Where you never know. You never know what you're gonna get in the NHS. You turn up, maybe you might get treated, maybe you might not get treated. But it used to be guaranteed, but now it's more like a chance. Maybe you go there with a broken leg, you're probably gonna get treated within the next 2 days, or you're gonna stay you're gonna stay on the corridor for a couple of months, for a couple of weeks. It's crazy that we're being compared to Sudan's hospital. It's like, what? And the amount of money that goes into the NHS is so much. But no. K-Starman West Treaty will do everything they can to make sure they remove everybody from the waiting list so they can boast about how good they're doing. That is fraud. I don't know how nobody's investigating that. But thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I really do appreciate you guys. The channel is growing. Slow growth. Yeah, slow growth. We're going to do a regular broadcast, okay? This is a regular broadcast. We're going to be here Monday to Friday, and Saturday I'm outside. You guys know the schedule. Monday to Friday. Saturday, I am outside. And I'll be outside either debating people, covering protests, going back and forth, just showing you the madness. I'll be live outside every Saturday. And Sunday, I'll take that as a rest day, all right? Actually, I say this all the time, but then on Sunday, I'm here. But yeah, Sunday, I'll try now. I've been forced to now, given that I've signed up to some other stuff that I'll be doing on Sunday. So I'm going to have to take the day off, meaning nothing to do with videos, nothing to do with news. Yeah, that's going to be really hard. Given that I'm always trying to see stuff. Every notification is just news, development, this. It's going to be hard to unplug. But thank you so much for tuning in today. Again, go to church. Yeah, I go to church all the time. Yeah, churches I don't miss. I missed last week, which I was I missed last week, but I usually don't miss church. Church is a part of my life since I was young. And when I grew up, I chose to become a Christian. I think a lot of people make a difference. We have to draw the line between growing up, between being born to a Christian family and choosing to be a Christian. It's very different. A lot of people are born to a Christian family and they just, they go to church because their parents used to take them to church, and it's a habit that they kept on doing every Sunday. But the day you choose to become a Christian yourself, not because you was born, not because it's a trend, not because you were told by your parents you gotta go to church, not because you were going, you were taken there by your parents every Sunday when you're young. But no. You chose because you read and you decided this is a person that I'll follow. I'll resemble my life after him. This is Jesus Christ. And I'm gonna be, and I'm gonna act like a Christian. By the way, being a Christian is a lot to do with your action. It's not to do with your, singing words and dancing, blah, blah, blah. I see a lot of Christians are just words. They're just Christians by words. Like, I'm a Christian. They're Christian as like titles, labels. No. Being a Christian is about action. Jesus wasn't sitting there saying, I'm a Christian. I am Christ. My name is Jesus Christ. I'm just sitting here chilling. No, Jesus was a man of action. He's a man of action. He was out there doing stuff. He sees injustice. He goes there, he flips the table, and he says it how it is. He doesn't just sit there thinking, I'm a Christian. Smoking, drinking, and doing all the crazy stuff. I see a lot of Christians who just sit there. They see crazy stuff happening in their eyes and they defend it as well. And you're thinking, really, you're a Christian? If Christ was here, he's out. Because you have to know, the reason why we call ourselves Christians is because we want to live as he would if he was here. That's why we call our name, we change our name into Christians. Like we rename ourselves after him. So we are little Christs in a sense, where we do and we represent him. Whenever we're out there, he sends us out of the world to represent him. So we have to act and talk like he would. But yeah, so yeah, that's where I'm at when it comes to Christianity. A lot of people just act. A lot of people are just labels. They use it as labels, and they use the religion whenever it works for them. But yeah. But folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm gonna have to love you guys and leave you, but thank you for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Tomorrow we got a beautiful, I'll say, a beautiful guest, in a sense, a beautiful guest. We got Jeffrey Epstein's survivor who will be joining us live. I don't know if she will join us. No, I don't think she'll be joining us live. We'll be pre-recorded and it'll come out to the date on Thursday instead. So yeah, we're gonna do the live stream on Wednesday night. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do the live stream at night tomorrow, and it's gonna come out on Thursday. So Wednesday we're gonna do the live stream, and Thursday will come out. Jeffrey Epstein survivor is gonna be breaking it down. So we're not just gonna be reading articles. She's gonna be telling us what she's seen, how it is, and how we're not told the truth, basically. But yeah, tune in for that. Make sure you tune in for that on Thursday. But thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to the channel again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Again, hand to the head salute. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Thank you. You've been silenced for very long, and every time you try to resist, they put you in jail. You've controlled your mind for so long to the point where you let them decide what your kids should learn, what gender they will be. And now you've let them to come for the whole nation, destroying what Britain once stood up for. They use this media machine not to report the facts to you, but to tell you what to think and what you should do.
Always be careful.
They're hiding the facts behind the noise, and they're recruiting pedophiles to tell you how to behave. And these politicians you meant to protect you, they're out there smashing your head on the ground. And no jail time. What we've been on has been very dark for a very long time, and it's time to shine a light on the truth and advocate for justice. We the people make the nation, and if we don't stand up and advocate for justice, then we certainly won't make this nation great again. So we have to create a place for that, a place that can contribute to a more informed society. And that place is Next Frontier Media.